Hey guys, Kevin, Muddy River Tactical. Thank you for joining me. Today we're out at the range with this SCCY CPX-2. This is one of the cheaper guns that you find in most gun shops across the country, and it's been around for a while, and they sell. We just sell a lot of holsters for them, so I figured I'd take one out and just kind of see how they really perform. So the short breakdown of it is, it's a super lightweight compact gun at only 15 ounces. It's super lightweight. However, it's got a fairly thick grip, so even if you have larger hands, you can get a fairly decent purchase on the gun. So it's just a good compact 9mm size pistol. It is though, however, double action only. So it's internal hammer fired right there. So it's got a long, like super long double action trigger, almost like you would find in a revolver. However, my first impressions of the trigger are, it's definitely the downfall of this gun would be my guess. I've never shot one of these before, but just dry firing it, it's super long and there's never a clean break anywhere. It's just super long and draggy the whole way. And then the reset, if you watch this, the reset, keep going, it's non-existent. I mean, it's literally let the trigger all the way out is the reset on the gun. So just first impressions, never shooting this gun, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. It feels decent in your hand, but the reset's super long. And also when you get back and let the trigger all the way out, I don't know if you can see there, I don't have big hands or fingers at all, and there's very little room right there. I mean, you're almost at the front of the trigger guard when you let the trigger all the way out, so I'm not a super fan of that. But other than that, it's just got white dot sights on it. You know, it's nothing fancy, but for a $220 gun, that's not really what I would expect out of it. The main thing with this and any concealed carry is not everybody has a budget to go spend $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 on a concealed carry gun. More people than not are looking for budget-friendly options. You know, the $200 to $300 range of guns are just super popular because that's what most people can afford. But you don't want to cut corners to where it's not reliable. So say at this $200 gun, I can already tell you the trigger's not very good, but if it's reliable, it's way better than not having a gun for somebody that's all they can afford. So I'm gonna put on my earphones here. I'm gonna shoot a couple rounds through this gun just so I can actually shoot it, and you'll see the first shots fired, just so I can get an idea, and then we'll talk about it a little more. That's weird. I had to hit it to even get it up in battery, so I don't like that already, but let's see here. Okay, so that's the first mag. It locked back, and I was hitting the slide release to let it up, and it wasn't doing anything. So I actually had to hit it to get the first round in the chamber, so that wasn't very good. I don't care for that too much. It did lock back on the final round, which I like. I've seen some people complain about these not locking back on the final round, which this one did, so I can't complain about that. We'll see if this next mag does it about getting that first round in the chamber. So that this is the first shots fired through this gun. It comes with the two 10-round magazines, and that's what I'm using. So the first 10 rounds didn't have a hiccup other than getting the one, and that may just be breaking in of the gun. I don't know. I won't judge it off of the first mag. But what I will tell you is the sights aren't very good. Like what we talked about, it's a very low-end budget gun, so I wouldn't expect too much out of that. The recoil is way more than I anticipated. I knew at 15 ounces it would have some recoil, obviously. There's there's always a plus and minus. No matter what gun you go to, the lighter you make it, the more recoil it's going to have in pretty much all scenarios, no matter whether it's a budget gun or a high-end gun. But I did figure that being this little beefier grip where you got a good grip on it, that the recoil wouldn't be that bad, but it's really jumpy. So that's something to note there. And the trigger, shooting it is worse than what I thought from just dry firing it. It's just painfully long, non-existent reset, but the double action pull is just painfully long, and it's never a break anywhere. It's just really hard. I think most people are going to have a very hard time shooting this gun accurate just because of that trigger. I mean, that's one of those things, if you think about a budget pistol, most people that are in a budget pistol aren't people that shoot all the time, so their skill level generally isn't as high as somebody that shoots all the time. So that makes me worry even more, because the unfortunate fact of these guns are, most of the time, if they're on a budget for the gun, they're gonna go pick up this gun from the gun store, load the mag, put it in their purse, truck, carry it, whatever, and hardly ever shoot it, which is a terrible idea. But especially when the trigger's that long, it's just going to be really unpredictable for people. But even if you do train with it a bunch, I think that trigger is going to be hard to overcome and shoot accurate with. But let's shoot another mag through here and see what happens. Okay, I let that one go a little harder and it went right in, so let's see here. I don't know if you guys just saw that. Going back to the trigger, I short stroked it because I'm not used to having my finger go completely to the front of the trigger guard to get it to reset. Okay, so that's the second mag there, and reliability's seems to be okay. I'd assume the first mag with it not going in the chamber without tapping it was just a kind of break-in thing, but we'll see here as we shoot some more rounds through it. I'm not going to shoot a ton of rounds through it, but we'll probably shoot another 2 or 3 mags through it today and just kind of get the first impressions and kind of go from there. What I did notice though, and it's super weird, and I'm not sure I like it, and you can see the hole where that internal hammer is. I'll try to turn the camera the next time I shoot here in a second, and you'll see smoke comes out of here, and I can almost feel like the air coming back out of here when you shoot, which is super weird to me. I've never, honestly, can't ever say I had a pistol that's done that on anything, so that's kind of odd. The trigger, like I said, you saw me short stroke it 2 different times on there. The trigger just painfully long reset. Like I said, non-existent reset really, and I'm used to shooting, I shoot every day and reviews and just different guns. I'm used to shooting off of some reset, and it's just throwing me off because literally my finger is hitting the front of the trigger guard completely before it ever resets. So I don't like that at all about it. So let me load a couple more mags here. We'll shoot at least 2 more mags through it, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about the air coming out of here and smoke coming out of that back there, and just see if we have any issues with the next couple mags. It did it again there. This is the 3rd mag, and literally I got to hit it to go back up there. So that problem obviously wasn't just the first mag, so we'll have to keep watching that. I'm gonna try to get at an angle here where you guys can see the smoke coming out of here. So Yeah, I don't care for that at all. The smoke coming out of it, and I could literally feel like almost like percussion on my forehead coming out of it on that last round right there. The other thing that's kind of weird, I just noticed this, and I've never really seen it, but the guide rod right there is literally touching the barrel. It doesn't seem normal to me, but it's still functioning, so maybe that's just how they are, but it definitely looks weird. So let's shoot one more mag here. Short stroking the hell out of it, but there is the first malfunction. I don't know how good you can see. It's a failure to eject there. So that's not a good start. Let's try again here. Goodness gracious, the more I shoot it, the more I'm hating this trigger. The long pull and deliberate pull, whatever, I mean, I guess you could get over if you practice with it enough, but that non-existent reset going all the way out to there makes this gun virtually impossible to shoot quickly at all. You know, if you had to put 2 or 3 rounds into your target quickly with this thing, it would be very hard, and the chances of short stroking it are super high. Like, hell, that's only the 4th mag, and I've done it 3 or 4 times that you guys have just seen. So I'm definitely not a fan of that. As far as reliability, that hiccup right there makes me wonder a little bit as well. So let's load a few more. I was gonna stop after these 2 mags, but I don't want to leave you guys on a review and give you any opinion. Like I said, these are the first absolute shots I've ever shot out of this gun that you guys have seen them all. So without having a couple more, I'm gonna hold my opinion for a second. Let's shoot a couple more mags real quick. All right, let's see what it does this time here. This will be the 5th mag through it. Same damn thing again. Oh my gosh, you can't make this up. I just short stroked it again, as you guys have just seen. I don't know how many times I gotta say this, but this trigger is absolute shit. Pardon my expression, but it's terrible. All right, last mag we're gonna shoot here. Okay, so that one went in. Ugh. The short stroking struggle is definitely real with this thing. Well, in my opinion, now after those first, let's see here, 60 rounds now that we've put through it, it had 1 failure, but it had, I don't know, you guys have been watching, 2 or 3 failure to get the first round in there out of the mag, which isn't necessarily a big deal when you're just loading your first mag, but if you're in a defensive situation and dropped a mag and put a new mag in it, I mean, that's a problem. So it's definitely not good at all there. Like I said, the recoil on this thing is super high. It's way jumpier. The shot rate that you can shoot it is very slow because of this trigger, as well as the recoil of getting back on target. Even if the trigger was better, getting back on target's going to be slower. The sights aren't the greatest. So let's talk about what I would think the pros and cons would be. The pro list is very short on this gun. In my opinion, the pros are, it's $200 or right around the $200 mark. So it's a super budget friendly option, and it's lightweight and the grip feels decent. that's where the pros kind of end for me on this gun. The cons come in with, first and foremost, the trigger is absolute garbage. And I say that knowing that this is a budget pistol, but I've shot a lot of budget pistols and done reviews on budget pistols. This is the worst trigger out of any gun I've ever shot, and I've shot high points too, so this is no better than that, let's put it that way. The things that make me worry are just reliability. In concealed carry, reliability is everything. If you're gonna have a malfunction, you don't want it to be when you're got your life depending on a pistol. Put that into the budget category as well. Most of these people in this category aren't gonna train very much. So God forbid something happens, like failure to get the round in there, failure to eject. Those people in a stressful situation with no training are gonna completely freeze. And it just puts you in harm. Instead of carrying a pistol to protect yourself, it puts them in even greater harm. So that worries me a lot for new people to concealed carry. I don't know, no gun is ever gonna trump experience, but you also want something that's the best equipment possible that you can get for your money. And in my opinion, for not much more money, there's a couple other guns that come to mind that I think you'd be way better spending your money on. The first one that comes to mind is a Taurus G2C. They got the G3Cs out now, which are $250, $260 range, which are a great gun. But the G2Cs have been out long enough that you can get those, and I've seen on a lot of different websites and a lot of different places for, you know, $200, $240, $230, and it's way, way, way better gun than what this is, in my opinion. It feels better, less felt recoil. In my experience with it, it's more reliable. But I will say in this budget category, you know, I got a sample of one, whether it's the Sky or the Tauruses. I got a Taurus G2C that I've had for years and years. That has been literally one of the most reliable guns I own, and I own a lot of guns from budget to high-end guns. And I have a Taurus G2C that's had zero malfunctions. However, you can get a Taurus, the next one that somebody buys could have an issue. And that goes with any guns, but in these budget type guns, it's just, they cut cost in different ways somehow. And unfortunately, most of the time, it's in the quality of the build and also in the quality control of the product. So you may get one or two of these that are really good and then one or two that are really bad, or vice versa. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. You may have one of these that has performed flawlessly, but in my first 60 rounds out of this one, I have serious doubts that this is going to be one of them. Obviously, it's not flawless already, but just keep that in mind when you're talking about budget pistols. But in my opinion, I would definitely pass on this SCCY CPX-2 and definitely look into some of your other options. You know, you can get the Taurus G2C, G3C, something like that. Trying to think of the other guns in that range. Even a few of the Rugers, like EC9s and stuff, I've seen for fairly cheap, you know, $240, $250. And I'm not a huge fan of the EC9, but I definitely like it way better than this. So definitely, if you're looking for a true budget gun, I would definitely weigh your options and don't go into the gun store and pick up the first cheapest thing you can find, which in most cases is this gun right here. Definitely don't do that and weigh your other options and see, you know, you don't want to spend $200 on something and depend on protecting you and those around you on it without being comfortable with it. And I wouldn't feel comfortable telling you to put yourself in that situation with this pistol currently. So let me know your thoughts below. I'm sure there's people that have had way better luck than I just had with this and maybe have some different thoughts. By no means am I totally bashing it. I get it's a budget gun, but there's just a few things that I think there's better options on the market for you. So leave those comments below. If you need any holsters for any of your concealed carry guns, check us out at muddyrivertactical.com. I'll put a link up here. You can check out our website. We're always here to help. Or if you're even new to concealed carry and just have questions along the way, definitely feel free to reach out to us. You can call us, you can email us, support@muddyrivertactical.com. I try to get through all the emails. You know, even if you're not buying a holster or something from us, if you just have questions on concealed carry and need help along the way, we're here to do that for you. We're here to help you as much as anything. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us. Until next time, keep practicing and always be prepared.